Is your fisherman in a remote area in Alaska or somewhere else in the world, and you want to send a care package to make them feel loved? I've got you covered. In this episode, I explain how the heck care packages are delivered to a fishing boat, how to find the right address to get it there, plus the supplies you'll need to package it correctly, as well as helpful ideas on what to include. Believe me, it's easier than you think. I'm Megan, host of the Partners of Commercial Fishermen podcast. This show is dedicated to girlfriends, fiancés, and wives of commercial fishermen to connect and feel less alone. As we know, this lifestyle isn't for the faint of heart. So this is our space in the world to discuss the highs and lows of being in a romantic relationship with a fisherman. Because it's different than being a family member or friend. It just is. Join in to laugh, vent, and share stories with others who get your lifestyle. So what are you waiting for? Let's dive in. Welcome back, POCFs, and I'm super excited to dive into one of the most asked questions on my blog. How the heck do you get a package to a fishing boat in a remote area? A lot of women or partners like me like to send care packages mid-season in Bristol Bay or anywhere else in Alaska or other parts of the world, but we're not really sure where to go or even how the heck it even gets there in the first place. So I'm going to break it down for you. I found out that once you mail the package, which I'll go through all the steps with you in a moment, the package goes to the processor, and then the processor puts it on a tender. A tender is a boat that basically delivers the catch from the fishing boats to the processor, but they also deliver things like care packages, and sometimes they have small quantities of groceries that they'll sell to the boats, because a lot of the time the boats don't even dock till the end of the season. So if you're not familiar with Bristol Bay, it's just a hard and fast fishery, as they like to say. Guys are on the boats for weeks to months at a time, grinding, fishing when there's openers, getting sleep when they can, shoving food in their mouths, and lather, rinse, repeat. It's nonstop. So yeah, care packages in this case are kind of like the holy grail, if you will. Fishermen just look forward to them so much. I probably send about two I sent to Chris a season. So yeah. And you might be surprised to learn also that they get there pretty quickly. I am usually in Wilmington, North Carolina when Chris is in Bristol Bay, Alaska, and it takes less than a week, sometimes even 5 days for the packages to get there, which is pretty cool considering I'm on the entire opposite coast. We're about 4 hours difference. And yeah, so keep that in mind when you're thinking about packaging your goodies. Okay, now to the good stuff. So there are tricks to getting your package delivered, and I've learned the hard way. For example, I had a package sit at a PO box for the entire season because I didn't know the rules that I'm about to tell you. But let's start at the beginning. First, the most important thing is to find the address for the processor that they fish for. You can ask your fisherman the name of the processor, and if they don't know the address, you can just Google the name and find it. I also recommend calling the processor to verify that you have the correct information, just to be sure. And here's another thing. If you were unable to get the information from your fishermen before they left for the season, don't worry. You can call to different processors in their specific fishery location and you'll find it. I recently suggested this to a partner and she was able to locate the address pretty easily. In my experience, the operators are more than happy to help. Okay, number 2, this is probably the most important. Use USPS flat rate boxes only. I say that because care packages can get super heavy, and this is the only way to do it without breaking the bank. And it's also probably the only way to do it because the United States Postal Service is the only one that can deliver to super remote areas. And they do a really, really great job. I've never had an issue of a package not getting to Alaska. I know it may seem counterintuitive, but UPS, FedEx, DHL, or any of the other places just don't even bother. It's going to be super expensive and they might not even get there. So USPS, that is your way to go. Flat rate boxes. The medium to large boxes are great. The prices range from, I think, about 17 the last time I checked to about 22. And it can weigh 50 pounds or 2 pounds and you're going to pay the same rate. This is why they are so freaking awesome. Just make sure the boxes aren't bulging out. They are, basically they're square shape. And depending on which of the medium and flat rate boxes you get, they come with a self-sealing, so you can rip off the little, I don't even know what you call it, the little strip on the end, and they do have some adhesive that will keep the boxes together. However, I recommend keeping packing tape, Sharpie, and scissors in your car or whatever with you at all times, just in case you may need it at the last minute. Okay, so step 3 is to address your package carefully. And I'll have information in the show notes, a link to how this looks, and if you need more help with that. But to package it, to address it correctly, you'll want to write the processor's name first, and then underneath it, you'll write care of, or the C/O, then write fishing vessel, or F/V. If you're not sure or not aware, F/V means fishing vessel, and then the boat name. Under that, you write your partner's name, and below that, you write the processor's address. Again, I'll have a link in the show notes for you to see, but I'll go through it again real quick. So first is the processor's name. Underneath that is care of, fishing vessel, boat name, then your partner's name, and then the processor's address. Okay, for the fun part, pack the treats. You know what your fisherman likes. Fishermen also voted overwhelmingly that the most coveted items in a care package are homemade baked goods. And it doesn't matter if they get to them a week old or 2 weeks old. The taste of home is a piece of normality in their day-to-day life, and it's better than any store-bought purchase. Because when you're working your butt off on a fishing boat in remote areas, homemade goods are the equivalent of a Michelin star meal, and I'm not even kidding. And it's also just that care that's behind it. And his favorite cookies or her favorite cookies, or it's that thoughtfulness and that love that you put into it that you can't just get in a store. However, I will say I have sent care packages to Chris where I've just gone to Trader Joe's and just dumped everything in there and sealed it up and shipped it out. So no matter what, they will be loved. Don't worry. But in addition to homemade goods, here's some other ideas if you're not sure what to pack. Love notes or long letters updating them on life at home. Favorite magazines, books, wet wipes, jerky, protein bars, fresh socks, pictures of you or your family, crafts from the kids, fresh coffee or energy packets, dried fruit, lip balm, and the list goes on. These are all suggestions made by other partners of commercial fishermen in our community. Okay, so here's another huge tip that's going to make a difference between if your package arrives and sits to the end of the season or if it actually gets to their boat. And we're going to keep this off the record, even though I'm literally recording this right now, but this is just between us. When you get to the post office, they're going to say, do you have perishable goods? Obviously, you do. The snacks are perishable. But no matter what, do not say the package is perishable. For some reason, they will not put it on the tender and it will remain in the office or the P.O. box to the end of the season. I don't know what or how this works, but saying that it's perishable is not gonna work in our favor. Believe me, I've tried it. It don't work. So yeah, that's basically the main things that you need to remember. But just, ship it like a regular flat rate package and you're good to go. Yeah, so that's basically it. If you follow these tips, you'll be good. And if you're still unsure, remember there's a link in the show notes to walk you through it. And I'm always here if you need me. So as always, with love and POCF pride, and remember, you are not alone. And would love to know if you want to DM me on Instagram or give me an email at support@meganwaldrop.com. I'd love to hear what kind of goodies you pack in your care package. Also, we have our incredible private forum on meganwaldrop.com where you can connect with other POCFs, and it would be so great to meet you through there and also see what kind of ideas that you have. You can post pictures in there, and yeah, if you have any other questions, that's where you can reach me. So I hope all is well, and until next time. Hey y'all, I so appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. To support our community, I'd love for you to join us by subscribing to this podcast, hitting the like button, and/or posting a review. And if you're a POCF looking for more resources on how to navigate this unique lifestyle, things from long-distance dating to motherhood advice and everything in between, visit meganwaldrop.com. That's meganwaldrep.com. We can't wait to connect with you. If you want to connect with more POCFs just like you, join the private forum at meganwaldrop.com/private-forum. Or even better, if you want to hang out in real life, there's an all-inclusive POCF retreat happening this fall 2023. Visit meganwaldrop.com/retreat-2023. And you can find both links in the show notes. We would love to meet you. Thanks for listening today. Being here means you're a part of the POCF family, and we wouldn't be a community without you. I'm Megan, and this is the Partners of Commercial Fishermen podcast. As always, much love, POCF pride, and remember, you are not alone.